Harley took a slow breath, looked into my eyes, and finally said,
I was born with magic.
Magic? Wait, what? He looked at me, observing how I'd react. Magic? I repeated, incredulous. This was far bigger than I'd imagined. I thought he had some kind of affinity for certain abilities, maybe something that came from heightened senses, like using a larger part of your brain. Some spiritual healer I saw on TV had claimed to move things with his mind. But magic? And yet, it made perfect sense. Magic was a simpler explanation, though a far more powerful one.
Yes, magic. I'm a mage, Amber. And your guardian. We were born to live with and love each other for centuries.
My breath caught. Love. Centuries. Again, he stopped and looked at me. Please, tell me more, I managed, as my shocked mind fought between curiosity, awe, and some amount of fear at the sudden knowledge that magic actually existed in this world. He took a deep breath. And then he told me about magic. It passed down in his family, from his mother, Julie Evans, or Julie Evans Ralston. That was her real name. Julia Taylor was a cover. He skipped explaining why she'd changed it and went on to tell me about what it meant to have spell power. He was stressed out at first.
I had prepared for this conversation with you so many times in my head, and now it's like what I practice seems inadequate.
It's okay. Just tell me. Whichever way it comes out, I'll try to keep up. I want to know about it and how it affects us. How I managed to say these calm, encouraging words baffled me. Inside, I was struggling with anxiety and a good amount of denial. He couldn't have just said he had magic, right? 1,000 questions rushed through my mind, and I had to stifle those in order to focus and listen. He started again. Most of it was overwhelming. Magic, he explained, existed for the service of humankind. It wasn't always like this, but a couple of thousand years ago, a curse made it this way. Every mage now had a human they were born to meet, fall in love with, and protect, for a few hundred years, age spells being part of the game. A few hundred years? That detail caught my attention again. We would live together that long?
Yes.
He smiled at me. What did that mean? To love someone for what seemed forever? To live past everyone we'd ever know? Are all mages like that? I asked.
Yes, but the powers are not the same. They depend on many things.
A mage had the necessary magic to protect the charge. That was what I was called in his world. His mother's charge was his dad Mark, or Marcus now. His sister Kim hadn't met her charge yet. The timing mattered. We met right when I needed his magic to save my life. It often happened that way, but not always. Harley was very stressed as he spoke, and stopped a few times to think, rephrase, ask me if he was clear. I kept reassuring him, faking composure, because I had to hear all of it. He told me that his mother was the most powerful one in the family. Kim was strong too, but nothing in comparison. Julia could control the weather, throw massive fireballs out of her hands, conjure almost anything, cast protective spells around her, which she'd done before leaving the house this morning. We were inside a magical sphere that engulfed the kitchen and the living room. Nobody could hear what he told me. Mages could also hear from a distance. Their senses were magnified. His mother and sister could also see for miles away. And you? He chuckled, but there was a hidden sadness in it.
Remember that book, A Spell for Chameleon?
Yes?
He doesn't have any noticeable powers. I'm not exactly the same. I've got telekinesis, but that's it. I can hear a bit better. I could heal you because you're my charge, and I could bring you back to life if needed.
Really?
Let's not test that.
I laughed.
But that's where it ends for me. None of that weather, conjuring, protection spells, nothing.
Yet, when he looked at me, I saw a secret hope in his eyes. Cryptic. Maybe it means I'm not so hard to protect. He chuckled.
We shall see.
I laughed. But hold on. I noticed another thing about you. Your swift movements and quick instincts. He looked down for a moment.
That may come from more mortal origins.
Such as?
A black belt in karate.
No kidding! I bit my lip. That is so hot.
Really? That turns you on?
Absolutely.
All this spell power talk has you serious, and I keep wondering what you're thinking, but karate?
He laughed, and his eyes wandered down to my shirt. Hello, no distractions now. You gotta finish the magic lecture. He shook his head, laughing harder. But seriously, karate?